This is Eagle Al, and today I'll be talking about Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow. Will they shoot it out this game, or will it be a surprisingly defensive game? Also, we gotta talk about DeVonta Smith and AJ Brown versus T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Who will be the better duo? And lastly, we're gonna talk about the unpredictability of this offense now that we're getting Saquon involved. But let's get straight into it. All right, man. So before we hop straight into it, we had to talk about the injury report, which looks sweet. Dallas Goddard, of course, is out. Byron Young, he is out, but not only is he out, he is placed on IR. Interesting that we signed a nose tackle, knowing that Byron Young was going to be out. So I don't want to pronounce the guy name wrong, so I'm gonna call him SI. Look like he possibly will be elevated or even signed to the active roster. We will see. And of course, Makai Becton, he had the concussion, haven't practiced all week. So that makes sense. He will be out. Okay, so let's get into the topics. Let's talk about Joe Burrow versus Jalen Hurts. Now that the game is coming tomorrow, I am getting slightly upset that this game has been moved to 1 o'clock, but happy for us like as a watcher because I like watching the 1 o'clock games. But Joe Burrow versus Jalen Hurts, same draft class, two guys that been in the Super Bowl, both lost, both all pros. Like this game made sense to be a primetime game, but obviously Eagles started slow. We are picking it up, and the Bengals started slow, and they're starting to pick it up. And so I just think the two are like, their trajectories of their career is heading to the same direction, but they both started differently. A lot of questions about Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow was just the man. And we wound up here. They accolades look almost identical. And this would have been a great matchup. Two guys that got really two good receivers. I know T. Higgins, I've seen some like he's questionable with a quad injury. I think he's going to give it a go. Ryan Clark said something interesting, and he believed Jalen Hurts will shoot it out with Joe Burrow and win the game. But let me play this clip.
Hurts ready to win a shootout with Joe Burrow?
I believe Jalen Hurts is ready to win a shootout with Joe Burrow because the problem with the Joe Burrow shootout is that they have Jamar Chase, is that they have T. Higgins. Well, now you have AJ back. You also have DeVonta Smith. You add that dynamic element with the Saquon Barkley in the backfield. I don't care what quarterback you are. If you don't have the people to help you win a shootout, if you don't have the requisite armory, you can't do it. Yeah. And the Philadelphia Eagles do. The other big piece of this is Jalen Hurts understands what's on the other side of this field. Jalen Hurts understands in order to get back to where they were 2 years ago, he has to win games against the elite quarterbacks in the league. He'll be up for the challenge.
I mean, I couldn't agree more with Ryan Clark. I think it is going to be a shootout, and I think Jalen Hurts will win this game. AJ is back. Of course, DeVonta Smith is back. And I think DeVonta Smith will be the guy to watch. If I had to put my money on it, of course, I don't have no sponsors or anything. So whoever you like, DraftKings or whatever, I will put my money on DeVonta Smith. Whatever the over is, I think DeVonta Smith, they're going to try to get him involved early. And I think they're going to get Saquon involved early as well. And I think we're going to finally get some points in the first quarter. Said that the past two videos. And hopefully I hit one, right? We're going to finally get some points. And I think it's just going to go on from there. But I wouldn't underestimate our defense. I think our defense is going to put up a fight. I think Quinyon versus Jamar Chase is a great matchup. And I think, of course, Slay versus T. Higgins. So however they do it, I think it's great matchups. And don't sleep on Cooper DeJean. Whoever their slot guy is, Cooper DeJean will do a good job. So this is a real test for the defense. Was the defense we seen in the last two games, was it fool's gold? We will find out. Say what you want about the Bengals record. They have an offense, and let's see if that defensive line, our defense can keep it up. Because if they can, we can blow out the Bengals. But if not, and it comes down to a shootout, Hurts versus Burrow, I'm going with Hurts. 1,000%. But speaking of the receivers, I think AJ and DeVonta Smith is better than Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I think those two or those duos have been talked about a lot. And now we finally get to see it. Man, this game should have been prime time. But again, I'm not going to complain about that. But DeVonta Smith talked about the duo. Let me play this clip.
Just compared to the NBA, you see those guys over there, you see the things that they're doing. Spend a lot of time watching tape on those guys and things like that. So it's kind of like, from a receiver standpoint, it's kind of fun when you get to, watch those guys in person. See the things they do, take some things away that they do. But overall, yeah, competitive, of course.
How far back you go with Jamar Chase?
Sound like a guy that got a lot of respect for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But I think our duo is better. I think our duo is better 1,000%. Now, it's hard to compare the numbers because DeVonta Smith missed games and A.J. Brown missed games and then T. Higgins missed games in the beginning. So we really can't go by the numbers, but you can't tell me A.J. Brown hasn't been the most impactful receiver this year. I think he's better than Justin Jefferson. I think he's better than Tyreek Hill. A.J. Brown is playing at a high level. But let's not get it twisted. I think Jamar Chase is right behind him. Right behind him. Like, if we're going off of ranking this year, Jamar Chase and A.J. Brown has been putting up a show. And then with the DeVonta Smith and T. Higgins, when they number is called and when they're needed, they've been showing up for sure too. So we will see, man. I just think our duo is better. Our duo is better than that duo. Our quarterback is better than that quarterback. Yes, I'm calling it out. Our team is better than that team. Our defense is better than their defense. We're going to win this game 1,000%. We're going to win this game. I'm sorry. I've been seeing this thing go around. Oh, yeah, if we lose to the Bengals, it got to be a respectable loss. Respectable loss? What are we talking about? This is the Philadelphia Eagles. Fuck your respectable loss. We're going to win this game. 1,000% we're going to win this game. Shoot, we better win this game. At the end of the day, the Bengals are what, 3-4 team? We better win this game. 1,000%. I don't care. I seen the record we 0-4 in Cincinnati. Eagles are 0-4 in Cincinnati. We got to change that. We definitely got to change that. But it start with this offense. And I forgot her name. Somebody off of ESPN. She's really popular. I can't think of her name right now. But I have a clip of her talking about Saquon and how he's being added and it's making this offense more unpredictable. But let me play this clip.
Really liked what Philadelphia did on the ground against New York in terms of mixing up the alignments from which they ran the ball. This run game is always very diverse. They do a lot of different things, different concepts, but primarily last season and then leading up to this last week, it's been almost entirely from the gun with Saquon, right? Against New York, though, so it was prior to last week, they were 80% from the gun. Last week, that actually dropped below 50%. They were running Saquon and Gainwell as well, more from under center. They had him in the pistol. That opened up the under center play action attack. They popped off some explosives that way. I really liked it because it makes the overall offense more unpredictable, and I think it would work really well against a Cincinnati Bengals defense that has struggled to stop under center runs all year long.
All right, as you see, I think, yes, Saquon coming out the pistol, under center. Then you have Ben Ransumaran as the fullback. I do think it makes the offense more unpredictable, and it opens up the playbook more because now maybe we can get into that play action game. And we know the Bengals have been struggling with handoffs under center. And you got Saquon Barkley, and you got a good run blocking team. So we can really get some things going against this Bengal team. Very winnable game. If it's a shootout, I go 34-31. If it's not, I go 28-17 if our defense find a way. But if they don't, it's a 34-31 game. Philadelphia Eagles. And I will have my reaction video out on Sunday. Probably no Sunday morning video. It was my wife's birthday Friday, so I'm going to just chill with her. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to have a video out unless something major happen. But other than that, Eagle Owl's going to be in the Big Apple, New York, and then I'll be home as soon as possible to watch that game. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news today? How do we feel about the offense? Will it be unpredictable? Our duo receivers versus their duo receivers, our quarterback versus their quarterback. And this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm up.